This is a video about how to draw figures. The first thing we're going to do is use shapes to get your proportion right. So most people want to start with the head when they're drawing a person, because this is like, you know, the most important thing that we focus on when you look at a person. However, when you're drawing a figure, I like to start with do the head last. So we're going to start with the torso. So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to draw the hips and sort of the whole torso. So go ahead and draw a circle for the hips. And then you're going to draw, you're going to do a tick mark that's about like 1.5 of the hips, I would say. And you're going to draw shoulders. If this were a woman, you would do more like an oval like this, and then the shoulders would be a similar width. For a man, you do more of a circle, and the shoulders would be a little wider. And then you're going to turn this into a triangle. Okay. Next, we're going to do the arms. So the upper arm, you can look at your own. Generally, your elbow hits right about at the top of your hips. So you're going to draw like an oval just to plan out the upper arm. And the reason we do that is because if you think about it, your bones inside your arms never bend. So it's nice to do for each of the main large bones of your body kind of one shape. And then that helps you not do noodly arms when you're trying to draw them. Okay, so go ahead and do both arms, upper arms to about the hip level, and then the lower arm is a little, well, the lower arm and part of the hand together kind of equal the upper arm. So do a lower arm that's a little shorter than that, and then a hand. So both of these together are close to the same. All right, I would say like your upper arm is like your lower arm plus your hand without your fingers, something like that. Okay, and then the legs, your legs are going to be about the same as the upper arm. So this is like the thigh, and the lower leg, the shin. And then your feet are generally about half of the shin. People do tiny little feet like this, but you want to, you know, give this person some decent feet. And then last is the head. So your head is, I don't know, a little bit taller than your waist and a similar, I don't know, width, I would say. People usually want to do heads way too big. And then the other thing is make sure you have enough room on each shoulder for a full another head to fit there. And then you would just kind of connect the head down to the body like that. So just to remind you, 3 heads. The thigh is about equal to the torso, which is also equal to the calf and the upper arm. Or, I forgot to write torso. Okay, your feet are about half of the calf. Can't write. And then if you have done everything right, your hands should hit about mid-thigh. So this is what a person would look like from the front. From the side, it would be slightly different. You would start with the torso like normal. So we'll do the hips. Okay, on a man and a woman, it would be about the same from the side. And then instead of doing a triangle, you're going to do a oval, right? Because our shoulders would be stacked. They're in front of each other, so it would be narrower. And then arms, you know, this and this are about the same. Lower arm and hand. And then legs, this and this are about the same. And then the thing that is different about the head when you're doing it from the side is you start with a circle. You know, this is like the back of our skull. And then you just sort of drop down a chin in front of it, kind of like that. Okay? So this is what you start with no matter what you're drawing. And then I'm going to show you, here's some ones that I did earlier. See how underneath I've got, you know, the circle, the triangle, the ovals, and then you go back and you draw the clothes and the muscles and the body on top of that. Okay, so let's use this to practice drawing some people from life. So first I'm going to do this girl. So I'm always starting with the middle of the body. So here is her hips and she's facing us. So we're going to do a triangle. Okay. And then for her arms, we're going to do the ovals out and up. Okay, now for her legs, she's like, I'm gonna have what she's like, this is actually called contrapposto in the art world, but she's got one hip slightly lower and one slightly higher. So to show that, we'll have her legs kind of attached on an angle like this. Okay, and then her head is like tilted and kind of forward, so we'll kind of maybe connect it with the body like this. So this is where you start, and then if you wanted to go back and draw like the actual clothes on there, you just kind of do this. And obviously everybody has, you know, different body types. This is just your really generic body type. But this is a really good place to start. Give her some ankles, her shoe. And let's see, I'll draw her vest on. And so that would be hanging off to the side, right? Because she's got a little space where her vest is hanging. This one's more along the body. If I were going to draw her face, which we're not going to for this project, I would kind of like do this to put like her nose and her eyes on there. Yeah, so there's just a quick version of this. This was just a stock photo of a model. Let's try one more. I found this photo. This is Prince, which prince is it? Prince William, I think. Okay. So he's doing a yoga pose out on his lawn in clothes. Okay, so this is a harder one. So we're going to start with his hips. Wait, I'm going to go lower on the paper. We're going to start with his hips. He's twisted, right? So since his torso is facing us, we are going to kind of do this. Okay. Then let's do his arm first, I think. Then his leg. So this is foreshortened a little bit right here. The leg is coming towards us a little bit, so it isn't as long as normal. Oh, I'm going to run out of room for his bottom leg, aren't I? Whoops. I'll just have that go off the paper. Upper arm. And then his head is right about there. Okay, so same thing. Let's try drawing clothes on this. Here's his collar and his sort of like rumpled shirt, since he's doing yoga in a dress outfit, which is silly. If I were drawing a face on this, I would go like this and like this to get the eyes in the right place and the nose. I didn't give him a thick enough neck, did I? Okay, and then the upper arm. Okay, something like that. Just as a quick, so this is, anytime you're drawing a figure, this is a good way to start by using the shapes. What I'd like you to do now is practice using shapes first and then draw the clothes on top, and I'd like you to draw 2 more people from life. Okay? So you should have these 2 shapes drawn, and then the 2 people that we did all together, and then I'd like you to draw 2 from life.